Well, hey, this is Peter. I was just stopping to fill up the dog and ram water here. There's our adult dog. It's amazing. She's been taming up over time. And look at these two monsters. We brought them here at 8 weeks old, they were the size of my foot almost. And I picked one up. I'm guessing they're in the 40 to 50. I mean, they are short right now, but they are thick. They are heavy, thick, fat puppies. And we've been petting them a little bit more and trying to tame them up. Here, I'll go in their fence. Come here, Ship. See? And they'll take a little pet. And this guy right here, he's a monster. Yeah, but I know they're tied to the rams because I came home from fencing at the other farm. All right, guys. Oh, I better stand up. And he had gotten a zap and was laying outside the fence right here on the path for, it must have been a couple hours I was gone. And he didn't leave. He just waited patiently for me to turn the fence off so he could get back in. So they are well bonded to our rams over here. But she's still pretty standoffish, but getting better. She comes and sits. And George Heller was right, by the way. I had one of the ram lambs get into the feeder. And so until I can modify it, this is my solution. I took 3 logs, and this is just the bucket I used to hold feed to like bring it up here, and I just tie it up. The dogs can get in there, but that ram lamb can't get back in there, so he was right. So it's good advice from him. And I'm sorry about the wind. It is a really odd weekend. It was 20 degrees all last week, 30 degrees all last week, and then all of a sudden it popped up to 70, 75 yesterday and today. This is Sunday. And I don't know. And then it's bottoming back out this week, back into the 40s, and then down into the 30s. But, you know, I thought we were going to green up a little bit this fall, but we have not had one lick of rain. And we were supposed to get rain tonight with this temperature swing, and it doesn't look like it's happening. So, I mean, we're still going to shoot to get to December, but I am starting to run out of grass. So they'll be in this little section right here with this tree line. It's kind of a triangle piece. And then there's stuff to eat up in this wooded area behind the house that they can come and pick through. And then we got another little section right here. Excuse me. And then we're about out of grass. We on this side of the farm. And then we got to start heading up over into here, but the ewes are way over this hill, and they'll be coming back this way. So I don't know. I think we maybe have only a month left to grass, because we have not had any rain since August, like mid-August. I think it's been super dry up here. It is, but even still, we're not hurting. You know, we're still grazing past everyone else in the area. The neighbors grazing pretty well too, but I think they only have a dozen animals, a dozen goats or something like that. But yeah, these 2 guard pups are really doing well, and they're just monsters. She's a 3-year-old, and you can look at the size. This is the boy. He's almost as big as her, and he was born in June. Just a meatball. And he's definitely in charge. I gave them some beef trim, and he worked them all. He worked the adult dog back and the female dog pup back, and he ate the lion's share of it. So I like him. He's forceful without being aggressive, and he already knows to bark. And his paws are about the size of dinner plates. So I'm really pleased with these dogs that I got up in northern Minnesota. But yeah, as you can see, these rams are looking good, feeling good, having no problems at all. The 2 with the collars are the ones we're keeping over the winter, and then he'll be gone, and these two are going to be butchered. So and then we'll just keep these two right here, and that'll help. And they're going after Thanksgiving. It's actually a really nice area. The butcher is up over that hill and down the highway about a quarter mile, and that's all. I mean, that's all the further I got to take them. So I can almost just throw them in the back of a pickup truck if I had to, but I'll use a trailer or something. But yeah, I figured it was time to give an update on these dogs. They're looking good. All right, I'm gonna go over to the ewes and give them some water, and then kind of show you what those look like. A good example. Here, I'm trying to sit behind the four-wheeler so the wind doesn't absolutely destroy this video. But a good example of the dryness of the area is I filled up that 30-gallon stock tank, and when I came back, the cows had drank all of it, so they were thirsty, even though there was water. I just don't think they're getting very much back from the grass, comparative to normal, I would call it. But I'm just gonna be mindful and bring out, you know, probably double the water that I've been doing, because you can see this grass is really starting to yellow up, even though it's warm. I mean, holy smokes! Even though it's good nutrition, I mean, there's just no water here. I mean, the ground is dry. Where it's not covered, it's definitely cracked. And I don't know, I'm starting to think about the pressure of the dryness of this year. And everything I've read said, in Minnesota anyway, we're supposed to catch quite a bit of snow. And I sure hope that's the case, because a third dry year in a row would be pretty tough, I think. But the ewes are sure looking good, though. I mean, they are content and fat and happy, and I gave them a bigger than normal paddock just because tomorrow I have work all day, and I'm not gonna be able to move them at the normal time. I like that calf. She looks like a Highland without horns. Really cute. Kind of a nut brown, and almost, I mean, she's got some of the dark brown of an Angus, but then there's like nut brown around her chest and her flanks, and she is hairy, and I don't know, she's thick. I like her. I don't know if we're gonna eat that one or not. I quite like her. Maybe we'll keep her. We'll have to see what her disposition is like. But yeah, everyone looks relatively healthy in this bunch. No one seems to be struggling or having a bad time. But yeah, this is a paddock for them for about a day and a half tomorrow, and then we'll be moving them up into this field here. And you can see this field, especially up on the hill, is pretty brown. I mean, there's still stuff to eat, but it's not. The grass is shutting down given the dryness and the time of the year. So we'll maybe only get around this field one more time, and then I'm afraid it might be hay time a little earlier than I was planning. And you know, if we get rain, it could green up. If you want to contrast, you can look at my neighbor's hayfield. I mean, the greenness does look nice, but there's a lot of money in fertilizer down on that. He fertilizes that field, and I don't know that I'm quite willing to do that or not. But this looks a little more scruffy because I let it go to seed one time this year to thicken it up. Sorry about the highway noise. I guess on Sunday everyone's got to bomb around in their diesel trucks at $5.30 a gallon or whatever it is these days. But yeah, so the name of the game is, will we get any rain this fall? And if not, I hope we get heavy snows. And yeah, sure, that might be a pain in the ass for me getting to the animals and unrolling hay or whatever, but we need the moisture sometime. And I'm sure anybody down south is rolling their eyes, and I get that there's relative, you know, in relation to what you guys are dealing with down there, it's probably easy peasy, but it is. I've lived in Minnesota half my life, and I don't think I've seen a drier time than what we're experiencing right now. I know talking to Doug, the neighbor that I'm renting that piece off of, his family's been here since the 1880s, and he said in his entire life farming here, he's never seen the ponds and the lakes as dry as they are right now. So just, it tells you. So I'm hoping we're blessed with some proper rainfall soon and heavy snows, and we can kind of get back to what we're used to. Because if not, I don't know that I'll be expanding very much stocking rate wise. Maybe a little bit, but my rapid expansion plan might have to be put on hold, because if the grass isn't growing, the grass isn't growing. But anyway, just some thoughts from today doing chores. All right, hope you all have a good day. Bye. Well, we finally got some rain, unfortunately. I think the season's done for growing. You can see this grass, while it has its tips back for the most part, it just has not grown. I went back and looked, and we got about a 1/4 inch of rain one time, and a light snow, maybe less than an inch, that melted down another time, and that's really all we've had since mid-August. So the farm is shutting down, so I am going to do my very best to stretch out this grazing, to avoid feeding hay before we need to. But my ambitions to go to Christmas, I think, are over here in Minnesota. And I think we got a nice rain yesterday, and you can see it's pretty gloomy and overcast, but there's no more rain in the forecast for the week. And I just fear that while we can always use the precipitation, it's just far too late for this grass to make any use of it. So there's our nice Angus Highland cow. That's kind of our family cow. She just hangs. She's lived her whole life with sheep. You gotta wonder if she even realizes she's a cow. But I'm gonna go and maybe look at her calf, if the calf will let me. This calf's not, I wouldn't call it wild, but she's not comfortable with us the way her mom is. She likes about 10 foot of distance, it seems like. But she is pretty. She's about as furry as you'd like. Let me see if I can just zoom in instead. And I'd say she's weaned. I haven't seen her taking anything off her mom in a couple of weeks at least. But we're gonna make, we just finished, sorry about the spinning. We just came down there and came to the end of the row, and now we're gonna head back along this strip. But we got about a couple of days of good grazing, and then we get into this kind of gnarly stuff where I'm planning to feed hay. So with the no regrowth, I think we're gonna get about a week of grazing off this field, and then we'll head down into the top half of the triangle field and then see what we got going on. I'm glad I bought extra hay this year, that's for certain. It's pretty crazy. But they're gonna live on this field, and down in these, I'm gonna feed hay out in this field, and I'm gonna give them access to these trees down here. It's a nice band of north-south trees, meaning that's south that way, east is that way. It should protect them pretty well from any of the snow and kind of heavy winds that we might get. And it's down in a draw. So I'm just gonna, we're gonna do our best here. I guess it's good to learn how to manage sheep and cattle and your stocking rate in some of the driest years Minnesota's ever had, because then when we come back around to normal, it'll feel pretty good, I guess. I'm gonna zoom back out, but it's pretty gloomy one. It went from 70s this last weekend down to, we had 70s for 2 days, and then we had that nice storm come through and give us a shot of rain for about 4 hours, and then now it's back to the 30s. It's cold as hell. I'm just thinking of my brother in California. He talks about he walks to work in shorts, or rides his bike in LA. And that sounds awfully nice in times like this where it's cold and damp. But then I'd have to live in the city, and that sounds pretty terrible. I don't know. I'm sure he disagrees, but yeah, she's a really friendly cow. I bet we. Oh, she found some alfalfa to eat. There's still some green in here, but not as much as it's just not growing. But plenty to eat here, I think. I think next spring we'll just go straight over to Doug's farm as a safety valve to give our farm a chance to kind of come back and jump off. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, if you look at her bag, it looks pretty tight now. I don't really think there's much milk in there anymore. Hey, 14. Yeah, go eat something. So that's what we're doing. I'm setting up fence and bringing water, and all the animals are really fluffing out. It's really something. I like this lamb here. She's pure white, except she has a ring of brown around her left eye, and that's it. Really pretty animal. Yeah. Well, not every day on the farm is going to be sunny and warm. You do get tough days in the middle of it. So I'm going to go find my hat because my ears are cold, and we'll keep doing chores.